We delivered our babies. They weighed 1 pound, 6 ounces and 1 pound, 4 ounces. It felt really scary to advocate for our babies at the time, going with your mother's intuition versus medical advice. It felt terrifying. It was really wild to find out that we were pregnant with twins. We had a little one at home, 10 months old when I found out. This is going to be a shock. We're going to have 3 babies under 2. There were so many emotions at that time. It was excitement and anxiety and fear of the unknown and fear of how our family would look. Twin Twin Transfusion Syndrome is when 2 babies share a placenta and one baby takes all of the nutrients and the fluid and depletes the other baby. And if it goes far enough, one of the babies will pass away. The next decisions that we had to make were to do a C-section or to do a selective reduction. A selective reduction is when you choose to end a life to save another. And being put in that situation as a mom is impossible. Being asked to choose which baby do you think is gonna make it is impossible. We were in a race against the clock, and with prayer and counseling one another, we decided to move forward with the selective reduction. We felt like that was the best chance to save one of our babies. On our way to surgery, we had an extremely strong feeling and impression that we could not go forward with that anymore, that we needed to do a C-section and give both of these babies an opportunity at life. We delivered our babies on November 28th of 2022, and they were born extremely tiny and extremely sick. So tiny, just the size of my hand. They had 10 little fingers and 10 toes, but they were perfect. It was a big learning curve from then on, and every second we were fighting for them. We were cheering them on and praying for them and hoping that they would just thrive. We had some friends back here in Utah who wanted to gift us a Minky blanket. They were telling the manager of the store our story. That manager was so touched by our story that she reached out to the owner of Minky, and they ended up getting our whole family blankets all the way out in Oregon, states away. So not only those blankets giving us a source of comfort and warmth, but also reminding us that there's people back home that care and that are cheering for us. Being states away from our families and friends and receiving a blanket is literally a hug that you can wrap around yourself.
We're just so grateful, and that's what has gotten us through. Thank you so much. More updates to come.
Going into the NICU, that was one of the very first things that we received, was a little Minky blanket for both of our boys. We were able to get our scents on them so that they could have those in their incubators in the NICU, reminding them of us in there even when we couldn't hold them or touch them. What Minky does, offering those blankets to NICU moms, is life-changing. After a long 9-month NICU stay, we finally took the boys home. Having them home, it just feels complete, and our family feels exactly how it's supposed to be. Currently, Graham is off of oxygen, and he has glasses and a feeding tube And Wells is still on 24/7 oxygen and doing great. They're both hitting a lot of milestones that we never thought we would see them hit. These blankets came to us at a time of extreme need and hardship. When we look at these blankets or snuggle up in them, I feel like we have conquered something impossible. I think it's so important to recognize how much of a role you play in your child's life. And when they're so young and so small, you are their voice and you are their loudest voice. If there is a NICU mom out there who needs to hear something, the thing that I want to share with them is you are doing the best you can. And that's enough. And that baby is so lucky to have you. And you know the best for them and advocate for them in a way that is going to help them thrive and be the best that they can be.